Audience. I only got 3. I don't have 5. I'm a loner. I don't have friends.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Phil Music. I'm going to give you guys a brief today on retired Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Roy's take on leadership in the enlisted ranks as well as commanders. So with that being said, I'll get right into the airman tier. In the airman tier, we're the workhorse. That's from E1 to E4, which is airman basic, airman, airman first class, and senior airman. According to Chief Roy, that is the most important tier when it comes to the enlisted force, the United States Air Force. We do most of the work, if not 90% of it. We are responsible for menial tasks from picking up cigarette butts to managing millions of dollars worth of equipment. It just depends on where you work and what is asked of you. It also contains the most amount of members in the enlisted force. So then next we have the NCO tier, which are your non-commissioned officers. They are your first line supervisors, which is basically, say your shop chiefs, or anyone that acts as a supervisor and has subordinates. Only at the NCO tier. Airman tier, you don't have subordinates. So they lead by example, and they set the example for fresh airmen, new airmen coming in. They also take on managerial type work, as in heading up projects, directing personnel, and making sure that things get done. When tasks come down from officers and or senior NCOs, they are responsible, not the airmen. They take all the credit or all the blame for the people that they work for and with, or have working for them. Then we go from NCOs to senior NCOs. Senior NCOs are your senior non-commissioned officers. These are the ranks of Master Sergeant, Senior Master Sergeant, and Chief Master Sergeant. These are your upper management, your department heads, I guess, in the civilian world you could say that. They basically make sure that the airmen and the NCO tier are taken care of, and they're being held to a level of responsibility that is becoming of an airman. So when big projects need to be taken care of that require multiple assets and multiple styles of leadership, they get everybody together, they hand out tasks, they make things simple, and then they have their NCOs disperse that out to the airmen and get the work done. Okay, so we talked airman tier, NCO tier, and senior NCO tier, and next I want to talk about commanders. Commanders are the big dogs. They're like your CEOs. They make things happen from an overall perspective. They go to fight for you on the political side. They go to fight for their entire unit, squadron, flight, whatever it may be. They may have upwards of anywhere from, say, 40 troops to 400 troops. Depending on the size, depending on the element, depending on the level of importance of the unit or command or group. Could be a group that's usually anywhere from an 06, which is a colonel, to a brigadier general, to a major general, and on up. Any of those can be commanders. They run your senior NCOs, your officers below them, captains, majors, lieutenants, second lieutenants. They run all your master sergeants, senior master sergeant, chief master sergeants, and tech sergeants, staff sergeants, and airmen and below. So basically what the chief's trying to say is that at every tier, everyone needs to step up and start doing their jobs and step up and start being a lot more responsible than it has been in the past. The chief is saying that there's been some lackadaisical type attitudes in the Air Force and that they need to step it up and make things happen. He is personally charging every tier to maintain and operate at a level higher than before. So his take on a bold new leadership is just that, holding people to a higher standards and keeping people responsible for what it is they're supposed to be doing. So in conclusion, what I talked about was what the chief thinks the airman tier should take care of, what their roles and responsibilities are, the NCO tier, what their roles and responsibilities are, the senior NCO tier, and what's expected of the commanders. With that being said, that concludes my presentation. Hopefully that worked out and I gave you guys a clear picture of what it means to be bold leadership in the United States Air Force, according to Chief Master Sergeant Retired Roy. Thanks for listening. My name is Philip Music. Thanks.